Greetings. This is Justin Allen, the Elite Nurse Practitioner. Welcome to the Elite Nurse Practitioner Show, podcast dedicated to nurse practitioner entrepreneurism and achieving financial freedom, where I talk directly with nurse practitioners who need help. Listen up, our market is saturated. Jobs can be scarce. We are underpaid. We are undervalued. We are taken advantage of by the sharks within the healthcare system, and frankly, screw that. Sick of it, and it's time for a change. And listen, I'm here to help make that happen. We are powerful. We can forge a path where we are in control of our career and ultimately our financial and personal well-being. You do not need to submit to healthcare administrators and your doctor overlords. You do not have to take the measly salary. You do not have to work 50 to 60 hours a week. There is a different way, and I'm here to show you that path. This podcast is raw and unfiltered. I have not talked to the nurse practitioners in this podcast prior to the call outside of an email exchange to schedule the episode. What you're about to listen to is a consultation session between a nurse practitioner and myself. It is real, it is unscripted, it is unplanned, and I have no idea what we're going to talk about. Anything and everything can happen during our conversation. The nurse practitioners in these episodes are struggling with an issue in their professional or financial life, and they have reached out to me for help. My goal is to help the nurse practitioner with actionable advice that will enhance and improve their professional, business, and financial life. My other goal is to hopefully help my nurse practitioner sisters and brothers build a more productive, powerful, and free life. So I hope the content and information within these podcast episodes does just that. All right, onto the episode. Hello, everyone. Today we'll be talking to Jill, who is a family nurse practitioner. Currently, she is working full-time at an urgent care. She's in the startup phase of opening a direct primary care clinic that will be focused on hormone replacement therapy for men and women. She's needing assistance with pricing her services, finding the ideal location, and general tips to help her practice succeed. Hey, Jill, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for hopping on here. So tell us about yourself. How long you've been a nurse practitioner for, and what you've been doing. I know you've been working at an urgent care, so just tell us a little bit about where you're at.
I've been a nurse practitioner for 3 years. Prior to that, I worked in emergency room for about 15 years, did a little bit of time in critical access hospital as well. And been working in the urgent care setting for about the past 3 years. And it's a tough beast, and I'm looking forward to being on my own and doing something at what I want to do, I guess.
Yeah. Urgent care is it's burnout city.
Yep, it is very much.
It is. Yeah. It's great to get your feet wet for a couple years, but I don't see how it's a sustainable job. It's just not. You just go crazy. I did it for, 9 years, from 2013 to 2022. So I got almost 10 years just about. And I don't know how the hell I did it so long. If it wasn't for the great pay, I probably wouldn't have done it. So are you at least getting compensated well?
No.
So you're not even getting paid well. Okay. Well, that sucks. So it's not production or anything, just basic salary.
Yeah. Recently they are trying to move us to a contract that will be production based. But that process is not going well. And actually, I'm trying to get my business started because they're going to incorporate a non-compete in that. And I don't want to sign a non-compete.
So let's talk about that just for a minute here. So,
okay.
When are they going to be implementing this? Do you have any idea?
Our contract came out in August. And so the contract went to not just the urgent care portion of the health system, but all of the APPs for the health system. And pretty much no one in any of the clinics or the urgent care has wanted to sign it.
So what if everyone just said no? Like, what if everyone just gave them the middle finger, like, good luck? Like, what if they just all quit?
That's pretty much what everyone is doing.
Okay. So then, if everyone just says, F you, okay, operate without any providers. See how well that goes.
Yeah. They did this without really even asking any of us. And basically took away our PTO and said we're going to this contract, and so it made a lot of people really mad.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I would, I'd advise just, playing it by ear, get together with some other people and just say that you're not going to sign it. I mean, how much do these people need you? Like, how much leverage do you have?
Um, Pretty good leverage, so we're short-staffed, and we're actually getting ready to lose another provider in the next 30 days. Um, so, unless they come up with at least 2 providers in the next 30 to 90 days, I'm pretty safe in my job, I think.
Do you think that's going to happen?
I don't foresee that happening. I
Okay.
mean, things can always change.
Sure. Yeah. So you know what? I would just tell him to shove it. I would just tell him to pound sand. I wouldn't sign it. I'm not signing a non-compete. So I either am, contracted on a monthly basis from here on out, and then you guys find someone else, or you just let me go and you guys are gonna be short staffed. That's what I would do.
Yep. Yep,
If
that's my plan.
okay, if you have the means for it. Now, do you have like, an emergency fund? Do you have some, do you have some savings basically? Can you do that?
So if I go in to the space where I would like to go in, it's going to hurt my emergency fund. And that's kind of where I'm torn on. Do I find a different space or um and keep my emergency fund, or do I use some of my emergency fund on my renovation and know that I have a pretty decent setup?
So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's a good idea to tap into your emergency fund unless you absolutely have to. I wouldn't use your emergency fund savings to start a business with. That's basically what I'm saying.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's that never touch it, never lose it kind of money. Like it's there
Right.
for an emergency.
Right.
Yeah. How easy would it be for you to find another job? Like basically, I want to start this off with like, let's make sure that you have your base. Let's just make sure you have your foundation covered here. You know what I mean? From a financial aspect. Let's make sure
Sure.
that you're able to cover expenses. Let's make sure you're able to actually thrive and survive before, we make a rash emotional decision. So, with that said, what what other opportunities do you have? Are there any?
So it would just be me commuting. I live in a pretty rural area. Um, and so yes, I would not have a problem finding another job. Um, it would just be a matter of I would be driving at least 30 minutes to another job.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's not terrible, right? It's not the end of the
No,
world, you know?
no.
Right, right. So, okay. So yeah, I mean, you have some leverage here. I wouldn't sign that non-compete, try to maintain the job, if they're going to go to production, a production-based urgent care position can actually be pretty lucrative depending on the type of production model. Have they presented what they want to do for you yet in terms of that goes?
Yeah,
Okay.
they want to, so RVU based
Okay.
and get paid or get a bonus based on 22%, I think. I don't know. It's pretty low from what I've researched.
How much are they paying? Basically, what matters is how much are they going to pay you per RVU? That's what matters. And is there a cap?
Um, yeah, 22 per RVU.
Okay, not great.
No.
Yeah, that's low. Yeah, I was getting paid that 10 years ago. Like, shit's more expensive, right? There's
Yep,
inflation,
exactly.
yeah, that's garbage. Yeah, yeah, but before I quit my urgent care, I was making like $32 an RVU. That's $10 more. That adds up very quickly. You know what I
Yep,
mean? That's a
it
lot of
does.
money. Yeah. And is there a cap on production?
Um, I think the cap is like 25.
25,000.
Yeah.
What's the base salary?
Base salary is 112.
112. So basically you could make, let's just say, give or take $140,000.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's bullshit. Yeah, I would just tell them to shove it. I wouldn't sign into a non-compete. And there's probably some better opportunities for you out there. And you're gonna start your own practice anyway, so it's not really that important. Like all you need is really just a part-time job to kind of just keep you afloat, right?
Right.
Right. So if you're established there, first just try to be like, listen, guys, I'm going to go part-time. I'm not signing a non-compete. If you're going to make me sign a non-compete, then, here's my 90 days. And then you just find another part-time job or whatever, just to keep you afloat. Okay.
Okay.
Follow the elite NP model, right? Part-time job, part-time business, right? It's
Right.
the best path towards success here. Okay. It's just going to increase your chances for success. So do that. So you might want to maybe start exploring some other opportunities out there, and maybe be thinking to yourself, okay, I will stay on board on a part-time basis. I want to be part-time. I want to be 100% production based, and I want $32 per RVU. We can't do that. Okay, well then here's my 30-day notice.
Right.
Right. Okay. Good luck. Bye.
Yep.
Right. Sorry. How big are your health administrators' Christmas bonuses? They're probably ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. Well, our CEO, he makes like, I think 10,000 a quarter at least in bonuses.
Right. And
Um,
plus, who knows what's
plus
his salary? Like
his salary is 800 a year.
800. Yeah, this guy's almost making $1 million a year. Get the
Right.
hell out of here. For doing
Right.
what?
Right.
For doing what? Right? Yeah. Yeah. I have a friend who's an administrator in a hospital system. He's like, these people are idiots. They're lazy pieces of shit, basically. They're lazy. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. He's like, it blows my mind how much they get paid for what they do. So yeah. Okay, anyway, so let's just so do you have any questions about how you're gonna navigate that situation?
I don't think so. I
Yeah.
mean, I've been pretty upfront so far and have said like I'm not signing anything, especially with a non-compete in it. So
Good. Yeah, and don't. Yeah. Okay, good deal. So let's talk about then this business here. So what do you want to start?
so um I like men's and women's HRT. I took your weight loss course and your women's health course, and then I am getting ready to do your basic men's course. Um, I just figured I kind of needed to offer some things in the community that weren't readily available. The closest HRT stuff is at least 2 hours away. And I've been told by a lot of people that that would be a good income. Um, and then ultimately, I want to do some direct primary care also.
Okay. So just a cash based concierge practice, essentially,
Yep,
where you're going to be doing a
exactly.
little bit of some cash, a little bit of primary care and some hormone replacement therapy and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. So what's the landscape look like in your area competition wise?
Um, so there are two main health systems, the one that I work for, and then there's a smaller clinic. Um, there's one nurse practitioner that recently started an IV hydration clinic. And then really that's pretty much it that's close local.
Okay. So you really don't really have a whole lot of competition.
No.
What's the population like in your area?
Um, the town I work in is about 30,000.
That's plenty of people. That's plenty of people for hormone replacement therapy, wellness practice, concierge practice. So you should be okay if there's really no one else doing this. You should actually do very well.
There
I would,
is someone said that there's a physician coming to town the beginning of 2024 that's going to do some hormone replacement therapy. So I'm hoping to get started before he comes to town. Um, and I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's still a good enough population, but um, anyway.
yeah. Well, you can't make plans based off what someone might do,
Sure.
right? Yeah. So, yeah, it's wise to get started before that person does, for sure. Um, okay. So what have you done so far? What have you started? Like, where are you at in the process? You took the course, so you
Uh,
have the plan, so you kind of have that going. Yeah, just basically where you're at.
so I'm working on my website. I got my EMR is up and ready. Um, really, it's just I'm waiting on my liability insurance for a quote on that, and then um, figuring out my location.
Okay. So, so let's start with the location first, because I mean, you really can't get started without that, right? So,
Right.
what's that looking like right now?
Okay. So, um, right now, I had talked with a physical therapist that does a cash pay concierge service with her physical therapy. And I had talked about sharing a space with her. She leases her space. And if I shared with her and we did some renovation, um, the cost for me to do the renovation would be like 6,800, and then after that my rent would be 400 a month, and that would include like utilities and internet and everything. But again, I would be using $6,800 of my money to do renovation.
Yeah, almost $7,000 to renovate the thing.
Right. And she doesn't own it. So
And how much is it going to be a month?
400.
400. How much space is it?
Um, Small office, like, I'm not for sure, honestly, on the space.
Like just an office? Like we talking like just a couple hundred square feet here, like a bedroom size thing, or
Yeah, probably bedroom size and then a
bedrooms?
bathroom. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. It's just really probably just a couple hundred square feet.
Yep.
Yeah. Eh, and almost $7,000 in renovations. Okay. There's nothing else. Like, why don't you just do your own thing?
I should.
Yeah. Do your own thing. I mean, surely to God, you can find something in your area for $1,000 a month,
Yeah.
right?
I I was gonna share space with the nurse practitioner that's doing the IV hydration, but she has a non-compete and was concerned about the conflict with her having a non-compete and me being in her space. So
Yeah, yeah, I guess I wouldn't worry about that, but some people worry about stuff they shouldn't.
sure.
Okay. You don't need these people. Do it yourself. I'm sure to
Okay.
God there's something. Yeah, you don't need these people. Don't partner with people if you don't need them. Like why do
Okay.
you need these people? To save yourself a couple $100?
Yeah, I
You
get what you're
know?
saying. It doesn't make
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Go into this with a little bit more of an abundance mindset, like, I mean, spending $1,000, $1,200 a month on a location it's not that much money. I mean, you're talking about just a couple patients, will pay for that, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, $7,000 to renovate something. I mean, that's a half a year of rent in somewhere that's ready to go. you
Yep.
know yeah, your goal for finding a location should be something that's practically ready to go. Maybe you need to get in there over a weekend and you and a friend paint the place or something, something like that.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be knocking down walls and having a contractor in there doing all this stuff that's just going to cost tens of thousands of dollars for something you don't even own. I would
Sure.
never Yeah, I would never drop a lot of money for doing something like that if you don't own the place.
Yep.
So, are there places around that you think would be a good location?
Yes, I just need to do some looking. I actually looked next door to the physical therapy place, and it's in pretty rough condition. Um, but yes, I just need to do some more looking to see if I
S-
can find something.
So, the place next to the physical therapy place, is it on a main road?
It is,
It's a good location.
it is a good location. Yeah,
Okay, so what's wrong with the inside? Like, is it just holes in the wall and crap, or what?
pretty much. Carpet needs replaced. I mean, it hasn't been used in quite some time, so it needs a
Okay,
good, some good TLC.
and how much are they charging?
800 a month.
Okay, that's nothing. All right. So, how much square footage is it? Do you know?
Um, Probably around 1,200.
Okay, that's perfect. I mean, you don't need more than that. That's a great size for a beginning practice. So this sounds like a good spot. Um, you need to just call them up, the person who's leasing it, the landlord, whoever. All right. And I bet you they will put new carpet in there and paint it and stuff for you. And they'll just increase your rent by $200 a month or something like that. And you'll have to sign a 2-year lease or something.
Okay.
Okay. Basically, on their end, they need to ensure they're going to be compensated for the amount of money they're going to put into this. If it needs new carpet, needs some new drywall here and there, needs a new coat of paint, you're talking about something that's going to cost, maybe $5,000 or something. You just put some cheap carpet in there, just make it look okay. It doesn't have to look amazing. It just needs to look okay,
Right.
Right. So they're going to give you two options. They'll do it and they'll just increase your rent. Okay. And you'll probably have to sign a 2-year lease or something like that. Or you do it and you just keep the $800 a month. So you can get in there with that $6,000 you're going to spend anyways. If you know some handymen or some people in your family that know how to do that kind of stuff, you could probably get it done fairly cheaply. And you could probably do a lot of that yourself too. Like painting walls is not hard.
Right.
Putting some drywall patches on some walls. I mean, anyone can do that. Okay. You just buy a bucket of it from Home Depot and go in there and slather it on and smooth it out. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. So you could probably do this fairly cheaply. So if it's a good spot, I wouldn't discount it. I would maybe go have a conversation.
Okay.
Okay. In the meantime, though, go look around though as well. You might find something that's just absolutely perfect, that you don't need to do anything with. All right. I hope everyone's enjoying the episode so far. I just wanted to take a quick break to thank everyone listening and also give a big thank you to all of my social media followers and email subscribers. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to our email list at www.elitenp.com and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Email subscribers will receive updates on new weekly podcast episodes, multiple weekly articles we publish, new courses, and everything else related to helping you succeed. Remember, all elite nurse practitioner courses are designed to help you build a niche practice, increase your financial strength, and to break free from the rat race. If I can break free and that other countless nurse practitioners can break free, then so can you. Additionally, please share this podcast with your other nurse practitioner sisters and brothers out there. The more NPs that venture out on their own, the stronger our profession will become. Now, let's get back to the episode. So I would just advise that you really go look around. I would spend the next few days, I would do this ASAP. I'd spend the next few days. I'd go out and about and do some looking.
Okay.
Yeah. Make sure that you have, roadside frontage if you can. It's free advertising. Make sure you have a sign of some sort. Okay. I'm not talking about one of those little, 2 by 1 foot little signs that go on a giant sign. No one can see those, like an actual sign, right? So see if you can get yourself a real sign. Make sure there's parking. All right. Make sure it's seen easily. And that's really the big things.
Okay.
Okay. You don't want a situation where it's a pain in the ass to park. Okay.
Right.
Patients just get, aggravated with it. And you want something that people drive by and they can just see it. Right. So,
right.
Yeah. All right. Any questions about finding this location?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. All right. And then pricing your services. You said that you were having some difficulty with that. So first, explain what services you want to provide exactly.
Okay, so specifically on the men's and women's hormone replacement therapy, I know I've listened to a lot of your podcasts and read a lot of your stuff, and you say, pretty much double whatever you're getting or whatever you're getting charged from the pharmacy. I guess since I'm doing a little bit of some direct primary care, and that's obviously like a monthly membership, I'm not sure with the HRT stuff, do you still try to do a monthly membership, or I'm just not sure what to do with that.
Yeah, I would. I would
Okay.
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of keep it somewhat consistent, direct primary care, that cost is going to be probably cheaper because you're not going to really be providing any medications or anything, right? It's just a service.
Right.
Right. So, $70, $80 a month. That seems to be kind of the going rate. Some places charge, 100, 120, some places charge 50. It really just depends on the demographics of your area, what you think people will be willing to spend, that sort of a thing. Okay. So, just maybe look around, see what you think is going to be a reasonable price. If you figure people are paying, how much do people pay a month for, their insurance premiums? I mean, it's hundreds of dollars a month. And then they have a
Right.
huge deductible with co-pays and all this stuff. $70 a month is a pretty good deal for general care,
Okay.
and then people then people have to have an emergency, plan just in case they get cancer or something or a car wreck or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So anyways, that's kind of where I would start off with that. General primary care, 1 to 2 visits a month, just whatever you're comfortable with. All right. We've had some podcasts before, a few podcasts with some people who do direct primary care. So I would just advise you to maybe listen to those.
Okay.
Okay. They're published there. You can just go to the Elite MP website. You can go to all articles and just search DPC, direct primary care, and you should see the podcast come up.
Okay.
Okay, and listen to those. Yeah. We've talked about that multiple times. Okay. So, and then I actually interviewed a nurse practitioner who has 2 very successful direct primary care practices, almost $1 million practice. So it would
Wow.
be good to listen to that one. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, don't expect to hit a home run with it unless it's just really needed in your area. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Direct primary care practices seem to do well in more highly populated areas from what I've heard, from what I've seen from other people. So, I wouldn't bet the farm on it. All right.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
expecting more of my income to be from the hormone replacement
A hun-
therapy.
100%. That's exactly where the income's going to be coming from. So, a monthly subscription fee for that, I think, is the best way to go. Okay.
Okay.
Reasonable rate for this is, I used to charge $120 a month. We're up to like $140 a month. It'll probably end up going up sometime soon. So, $140 a month. That includes visits. That includes the hormones themselves. That includes injection supplies. It should include just about everything. Okay.
Okay.
You can add some B12 injections or a B complex injection with it too.
Okay.
Why not? It costs you nothing.
Okay.
Okay. You can actually, you got vitamin D injections to it too if you wanted to. I mean, those are pretty cheap as well. All right.
Yeah.
So just add a little something else to it to just kind of seal the deal. All
Sure.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
If you charge $140 a month, you should be making a pretty decent profit of $110 a month. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, just depends.
Okay.
Okay. And that's what I would have as that option. Like I discussed in the men's and women's health courses, I would offer discounts for people who want to buy in advance. If they want to pay for 3 to 6 months of services in advance, give them a discount, 5-10% off.
Okay.
Okay. If people come to my men's health practice and they want to buy 12 months at one time, we give them 20% off.
Okay.
Having all that money up front is always better.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's great. Someone wants to pay for 12 months right up front. I mean, it's $1,300, $1,400 or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a nice little chunk of change.
Yep.
So yeah. So that's how I would, that's basically how I would price it, and then anything else, would be more of like an an a la carte kind of a thing, right? You have the base HRT package. Now you want to add weight loss to it. Okay, great. Semaglutide is going to be another $200 a month. You want to do phentermine on top of it. Okay, great. It's going to be another $100 a month. You want to do some peptides or something. It's going to be another $200 a month, whatever. Okay.
Okay.
So just determine what else you want to add on to it. Okay. People who do hormone replacement therapy and these general wellness services, they generally also like the other services as well as add-ons.
Okay.
A lot of them will like some NAD injections. A lot of them like a glutathione injection. A lot of them will like an IV bag every once in a while. A lot of them want a peptide. A lot of them want some growth hormone optimization. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
yeah. So be listening to your patients and what they want.
Okay.
Okay. But start off with just the basic packages, the basic hormone replacement therapy, and then add on a few little things to it. Okay. If you want to do IV infusion, you could. If someone else is doing it in town, I wouldn't bother. IV infusion, in my opinion, it's kind of a pain in the ass. You got to start an IV. You got to infuse it. You got to mix the bags, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I personally don't like doing it. I'd rather just give them an injection.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So yeah. So you want to add a couple of vitamin injections to it. Great. NAD is a good seller. I would have some weight loss as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I would definitely be adding some weight loss to your services. I would do hormone replacement therapy, and I would also have a weight loss tier as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Weight loss wise, same type of membership as the hormone replacement therapy.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. You should have pretty much 2 options for weight loss. Have a cheaper option, something with like phentermine or Contrave, okay, something that's a little bit cheaper. And then you have something a little bit higher end with semaglutide or tirzepatide, the
Okay.
GLP-1. Yeah. Yeah. Those are going to be more expensive because it's just more expensive of a medication, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So price it accordingly. Do some research in your area. See what people are charging. If there's anyone doing weight loss in your area, see what they're charging. Okay. Undercut them by 10%. If there's no one in your area doing it, buckle up. You're going to make a lot of money. Okay. Charge what other people are charging, maybe in the city over or something. Okay. Just get a
Okay.
good idea of what people are charging in your region. All right. And competitively price it 10% less.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just a good rule of thumb of pricing services. And you still make a healthy profit.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So any questions about that?
I don't think so. That really helps a lot. For some reason, was just really struggling to narrow down some pricing for that stuff. So that helps a lot.
Yeah. With pricing and anyone listening to this, if in doubt, just call some competition in the region and see what they're charging.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a general market price for most things. When you run into problems with pricing is when you're like offering something that's novel, something that's new, something that's never been seen before. Then it can be difficult kind of determining a price because you have
Sure.
nothing to base it off of, right? But you have plenty to base off of it. I'm sure within a 1 to 2 hour drive, there's other people doing this stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Couple hours or an hour and a half, I think, is the closest practices that I have found anyway.
Okay. Just call them, see what they charge. Just have to act
Okay.
like you're a patient. Hey, how much are you charging?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. You don't need to be sneaky about it. Just be like, hey, how much are you charging?
Sure.
Right. Whatever, okay, cool. So any other questions about, pricing?
I don't think so. I think that covers it.
Okay. So do you have any other questions or anything else you want to talk about?
I don't think so. You helped a lot. I really appreciate your time.
You're welcome. I have a couple thoughts, just because we're a little bit shorter of an episode here.
Sure.
I think we've only been talking for like 30 minutes or something. But a couple thoughts here is that I would be patient with it. Okay. Um, don't expect magic to happen, first month or two. Okay. Go into this with realistic expectations. I tell
Okay.
people who are starting a business from scratch, brand new, to go into it with realistic expectations. If you go into it with realistic expectations, you're not going to be disappointed. You won't get depressed. Your motivation, your momentum shouldn't go down because you're expecting it. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. So don't expect to really make a whole lot probably for the first few months. All right. By month 3, you should be breaking even. Okay. So that should be kind of the milestone you should strive for. Okay.
Okay.
So month 3, you should be on autopilot. The business income is covering business expenses. That's where you should be at the 3-month mark. Okay.
Okay.
6-month mark is when you should actually be making some money. Okay. So with that said, all right, be thinking to yourself here what your strategy is with your job. Okay. You're probably going to want to have some part-time income for at least 6 to 12 months. Okay.
Great.
Yeah. It's going to take a little time for your business to start paying your personal bills. So
Everything that I've read of yours has said, like, give it about 12 months to really be successful. So that's kind of I'm just keeping that in mind of, hanging in there for the long haul because there's a lot of ups and downs and about 12 months or so to
yeah,
really see
yeah,
things.
exactly. Yeah, you really should give it 12 months, Don't throw in the towel either, give it 6 to 12 months. A lot of people, I get emails and calls and stuff from people like it's been 2 months and they're ready to give up. It's just like you haven't even started.
Right.
Yeah, you really got to give it 6 to 12 months. If by month 6, you're still having to put your own money into this thing to keep it afloat, you need to stand back objectively, not emotionally. Okay. All the emotions out. Stand back objectively and look, why am I not making money? Where's the leaks? What's profitable? How do I pivot? All
Sure.
right. Yeah. So kind of keep that in mind too. A business is never a set it and forget it kind of a thing. You need to be okay with pivoting. You need to be okay with changing stuff up as it goes. Okay. You're never going to be ready. All right. It's like a boxer or a fighter going in the ring. You have no idea what kind of punch that person's going to throw at you. You have no clue. Okay. Same thing with a business. You have no idea what's going to happen. So always be prepared to change. All right. I
Got it.
offered, I offered DPC primary care at my men's health practice the first 6 months or so. It was a flop. I just scrapped it. I took it off my website. I just scrapped it. I was like, I'm not going to waste my energy on it.
Sure.
Okay. That's what happened with me. That might not happen with you. Who knows?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
have considered that possibility.
It's a possibility. Or, maybe the
Yep.
hormone replacement therapy flops and the direct primary care takes off. You have no clue.
Right.
Right. Nobody can tell you what will do well. Nobody. And if someone's telling you that, they're full of shit. Okay. Be skeptical. Be very skeptical. Okay. Yeah. I see these ads on Facebook and Instagram and stuff on my feed and stuff. I'm like, these people are so full of shit. I feel sorry for people, getting sucked into this. Nobody can guarantee you results. No marketing firm can guarantee you leads. No, nothing. No one can guarantee you anything. So keep that in mind as when you get started with this business, a lot of people are going to approach you to try to sell you on stuff.
Okay.
You don't need it. Okay. Keep it simple.
Got it.
Yeah. Offer good services, competitive pricing, right? Offer good care, good customer service, and and it should happen. It's
Okay.
pretty simple. Okay. Think about when you go to a business, what do you like to see, right? Have that in your business.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Have you thought about marketing at all?
Um, a little bit. I mean, we'll hopefully be on the main stretch. So that should help. And then locally they still publish a paper here. Um, and I mean, then there is social media advertising also.
Okay, so the newspaper, just FYI, okay, most people, anyone under the age of 55, maybe even 60, that very few people read the newspaper anymore. So don't waste your money. Okay,
Okay.
don't waste your money. It's gonna be a flop most of the time. Okay, now some places, like I said, I mean, this is business. You never know. Okay, but for the most part, newspapers are a waste of time. All right. Listen to the other episodes. I've talked about a lot of this before. All right. Make sure you just have the free stuff done, right? Your Google business listing, get lots of reviews on there. It's free marketing, super important. People
Okay.
are people are looking for you. People are going to be actively looking for weight loss therapy, hormone replacement therapy. They're looking for you. So make it as easy as possible for them to find you. And that's having a Google review or having a Google business listing and lots of reviews on it.
Okay.
So your goal here is every single patient coming through that door, you get a Google review.
Okay.
Okay. Give them 50% off or whatever. Like get that review. All right. That should be your number one priority. Get that Google business listing up and running. Have a very nice website. All right. Have lots of reviews. If you do that, patients will just come to you. 50% of the patients that come to my men's health practice just come from our Google business page, our Google business listing. 50%. That's free. Okay.
Yep.
That's how important it is.
Okay.
If you're in a town of 30,000 people, word of mouth spreads pretty quick.
It does.
It does. Yeah. If you are going to be on the main strip, the main road through town, make sure you have the biggest sign you could possibly get out on that road.
Okay.
Okay. Talk to the landlord. Be like, I want to build a sign on the road right there. Are you okay with that? Well, I'll give you an extra $100 a month. It's that important.
Okay.
Okay. Look at it as a marketing cost. It's your own billboard.
Okay.
Okay. You can get like a 10 by 6 foot sign or something out on the main road. It's worth it.
Okay.
Okay. I'm serious. Like you can go to signs.com. You can order these things. They're metal and you just get some, you get some 4x4s out there and some Quickcrete. You build that shit and nail it on there. That's all we did. It works. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Me and my MA went out there on the weekend. We dug holes. We put the 4x4s in. We just nailed that sign up on it. We call it a day. It's still up 3 days, 3 years later. It's still there.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. It works, whatever. So, yeah. So if you do those things right there, you should be getting some patients.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Any other thoughts?
I don't think so, Justin. I really appreciate your time.
All right, you're welcome. I like to end the episode with you asking me a question. Not necessarily about your business or anything, but just more like a personal question or a curiosity. Is there a question you've ever wanted to ask me?
How many people do you think you help on average?
Uh, Through Elite MP?
Yes.
Oh, geez, I couldn't even tell you. I record 4 to 8 podcasts a month, so there's that. Emails, I answer 20 emails a day. Facebook messages, 10 to 15. The Facebook group, I answer questions on there. I mean, I'd estimate it's hundreds a month.
Do you feel like you commit more time to the Elite NP than you do to like seeing patients?
Absolutely. This is my full-time thing at this point.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I still see patients, obviously, keep my license up and whatnot, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But yeah, I spend more time on Elite MP developing courses, writing content, recording podcasts. Yeah, like this really is my job at this point. So
Cool.
yeah, it's pretty cool. Someone would have told me this 3 years ago, I'd have been like, whatever. So good question. Okay, cool deal. Well, listen, if you ever want to do a follow-up, you got my email, just let me know. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Justin.
All right. Take care. Bye.
All right. Bye.
I hope everyone enjoyed the episode with Jill. A good startup episode. We went over the main points that, that you really should be considering when you're starting up a practice. And, in her case, it was really finding a good location. It was pricing the services, When you're finding a location, guys, don't spend a fortune on it, all right? Especially if you're in the startup phase. Even if you're in the phase of where you're wanting to expand your practice, opening up a second location or finding a new location or something, don't spend a lot of money on it unless you own the building, okay? I've seen some NPs spend $100,000 remodeling, something they're leasing, and it just blows my mind. I mean, what a waste of money. You don't even own it, okay? So don't do that. If you have to rent something that needs a build out, have the landlord pay for it. Don't pay for it. Or find another location that doesn't really need a whole lot of work. You can do some drywall repairs. You can do a lot of that stuff yourself. And pricing your services, if all else fails, call competition. If you don't have any competition in your town or your city, then call the city over, okay? Just get a good price of, what's a regional market price for what it is that you're wanting to do, okay? Call 3 or 4 places up, get a good average, and then just undercut it by 10%, and you have competitive pricing. It's that simple. All right, hope everyone enjoys this episode. Talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye. Thank you for listening to the show. Quick legal disclaimer. The content of this podcast is meant for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be used as legal, financial, medical, regulatory, or practice-specific advice. For information pertaining to your specific legal, financial, medical, or practice-specific needs, please be sure to consult with your lawyer, CPA, medical director, and or your state's practice laws and the most up-to-date clinical guidelines. As always, do your due diligence when it comes to any information found online and in podcasts. The content in this podcast is copyrighted by Galaxy Medical Southwest 2023 and cannot be duplicated, rebroadcasted, or reproduced without our written permission.